Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simracing Bible. Welcome to the most anticipated release for Automobilista 2 for quite some time. I know a lot of you guys have been really looking forward to the release of the historic Nurburgring Nordshleife, and so today it's my pleasure to be able to present to you the Nurburgring Nordshleife, the 1971 edition. So we're going to check out the different layouts that are available, check out the release in general, see what's going on, and walk you through it. So welcome along, everybody. Great to have you with us. So we'll jump into the game and we'll show you around and see what's up this evening. So here we go. So first of all, how many of you are excited for this? I know a lot of you have been waiting very, very patiently, some maybe not so patiently than others, for this particular release. So we now have the old classic version of the Nordshleife. So we've had the Nordshleife in AMS2 for some time now. We've had it obviously with the Touristenfahrten, which is basically the Nordshleife on its own without the GP track, and then with the GP track, of course, as well for the endurance side of things. But now, if we scroll a little bit further down, we have 3 new variants available here. So this is available as far as the content is concerned through the Nurburgring DLC. So if you have that, you will already have these additional layouts here included. If you haven't got it, then you can pick it up through the various channels that we have available through Steam or wherever. So here we go. We've got the 1971 edition. So there's 3 versions. So we have, starting with the smallest, the Sudschleife, which is, I think, translated to South Ring, kind of the south area, I think. So we have the Nordshleife as we know it, being this kind of a layout here, and then we have the Suitshleife, which is some extra roads which are a little bit different and not used anymore, which is down this side of things. And then we have the Nordshleife version, which is as we know it, sort of, but with a little bit of a change down here, as you can see, with the original kind of pit area. And then we have the Gesamtstrecke as well, which is basically both of them combined into one. So as if the Nordshleife wasn't long enough, you can have the Sudschleife included in it as well, so you have even more track distance. So we'll obviously go through them and show you what's what. Before we jump on track, though, I'm going to show you something else, because as part of the release, there's been a few fixes and updates and things as well. But it also includes the 2023 stock car season, so we have all the liveries to go along with that as well. So we'll go through that in a little bit, but that's a little bit of an extra thing which I wasn't expecting in this particular release, but nevertheless we have it available to us. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the Suitshleife. We'll start off small and work our way up to the full length one, I think. So we'll start off there with the BMW 2002 Turbo. So let's just go in and see what we're dealing with here. How are you all doing? I hope you're all well. Personix here says, hi, it's here at last. Yes, I know you're looking forward to this one. Funky's here as well. Evening. Exciting update. Yes, it is. It is a very exciting update. It's perhaps we should do it in a daylight rather than in the darkness. I think that's probably the safest thing to do to start off with. We might do some darkness later on. Let's change that weather to bring it forward a little bit so we actually have a chance of seeing where we're going. So super exciting stuff. Torytech welcome says, oh wow, is that what my Steam was downloading? Awesome, yes. So it's available on the release candidate version. So if you've opted in to download the release candidate rather than just the standard updates, then you will be able to have access to this. But you can do that through Steam. It's not just available for those who have subscribed to the original beta, so you can still get hold of us even if you haven't joined in on that side of things. So it's available for all of us, which is great. Baraka, hi, what are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Jobby's here says, hello Phil, looking forward to this one. Yes, me too indeed. Right, so here we go then. BMW 2002 Turbo, which has had, I think, some sound updates as well. And the great thing about this, of course, is that with the new PC, everything is maxed out. So this should look fantastic. So here we go then. So this is, I'm just going to take it slowly to start off with, just to kind of get our bearings here. So there's the sign that Riser was teasing us with earlier on. So you come down this way, so that's where you would normally go off on the right there if you're going onto the Nordshleife, but this is the Suitshleife one here. You come down underneath this classic bridge, and then through here. So this is all very exploratory. I don't really know the Sudschleife very well, and I'm having some force feedback dropouts here a second. Okay, bear with me one moment. I'm just going to have to restart or switch off my wheel and back on again. So I'm going to have to restart AMS2 for this. I was doing this earlier on, and I think it was, I don't know whether it's just something to do with the sim or whether it's my wheelbase itself, but nevertheless, we will get it sorted and we will get on track. So bear with me one moment. Let's fire that up again. Joys of technology, huh? Aren't they great? Right, there we go. That's that. Recenter that. Go through all the process of starting things up again, and then we will reload into AMS2. And we'll start again. We will get there. I won't keep you waiting any longer, I promise. I know we've waited long enough. Sonic says, Mini and 1974 911 are great here. Yes. No, the 911 will be coming out to play. I can promise you that. We will be bringing that out. I know you'd be all over that, Funky. Yeah, I knew you'd be straight in there. Right, let's try again, guys. Hey, Mick, welcome along. Says M1 in beta rocks. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Is that change hasn't come over to... it hasn't actually come over to the release calendar, has it? I think that's still in beta, is it, Mick? I think it is. Looking forward to trying that when it does roll over, because that is a really nice car. Right, take two. Hopefully this time... It's still doing it. What's going on with that? That's weird. Let's hope it holds off for a moment. Real world problems, you, right. Okay, so here we go. Down to... Yeah, so it's just cutting out. Okay. I had fixed this earlier on and it was working fine, so let me just quickly change this, because I did adjust this to default. I'm going to go to default plus again and just see if it's still doing, and if it is, then I'll have to do another quick restart. But let's just try it out. No, it's still dropping out. It's weird, it's kind of, it's almost like EMI interference, which is... Ooh. Okay. Well, that's not looking good, is it? Okay. We've crashed. Oh dear me. Right. Well, what an exciting start to the evening we're having, guys. This is let's fiddle around here and see if we can get this to work. In the meantime, we'll put some lights on, shall we? My goodness. Well, hopefully this is not a sign of things to come. My e-stop off again. There we go. Anyway, it's just building suspense. That's all it is. Building the suspense up here. Okay, so that's all operational on my profiles here. Make sure everything is okay. Okay, so that's all fine there. Load back in again. I hope it works. Awesome stuff. Hey RJ, welcome along. Good to see you. Funky says, I reinstalled AMS2 lately and forgot to enable the beta, so this came as a surprise. Aha. What have you done, says RJ? I don't know. It's just having a bit of a moment. But actually, let's just go back here and let's just turn that back to... Oops, hang on. Go back to standard default again. Let me go that way. Right. Fingers crossed, guys. This should hopefully do the job. Right. Technical difficulty slide. Yeah, I do. Get one sorted out. Had a couple of recently, just teething issues with with new PC hardware. Just trying to get everything sorted. So hopefully now, please be good. It's already feeling like it's successful. Okay, I think we're maybe onto something here. Alright, let's just go through here, so make sure we're not flipping. Perfect, right. Anyway, on with the tour of Nordshleife here, so the Suitshleife, shall I say. So down the hill, and under we go here. So we've got these, oh, it's still doing it. Okay, let's come to persist with it, guys. So we've got some very precarious looking fencing going on there, some classic SO signs there. Goodness. I wonder if it will happen. Just turn off force feedback here a second, let's see if it still has any dropping out issues here. This could make it a bit trickier. Right, so nice weaving corners through here. Little hut on the left hand side there, protected by that particularly sturdy fence. Right, let's slow it down here. Again, this is very exploratory. We've got some nice leaves on the side of the road there, that looks pretty cool. Okay. Again, this is just trying to feel our way around as to what we're doing here and where we're going. When I say feel, as in no feel whatsoever, because I've got no... Oh. It's turned again. What is going on? Have we got some bugs creeping in with AMS2 here? Has anyone else experienced this? It's very odd. Very, very strange. Okay, well I can... Whoa, hello. Let's turn that off. Okay. See if there's any issues going on here with my hardware. I don't think it is. If not, we'll have to revert to keyboard and mouse. The fact that it's kind of dying in the sim as well is a bit unnerving. Nothing there. Hang on a second. Let's check the power supply here. Right. Okay. It's all working fine. I mean, when you start it up and things, and then just all of a sudden it just starts dropping off. I don't know whether it's hardware related or whether it's release related or not. But we'll try again. We will try again. And if not, I will just use the keyboard because we'll get through it in one way or another. So you ran some laps with no issue. I ran laps earlier on with the 911, and that was fine as well. I had it initially, and then I just reset the wheelbase, and then it was all good. But it seems it's returned for whatever reason. So we'll let's change the car. Not that it should make any difference whatsoever. We'll try and eliminate it, just in case it's a BMW thing. Just in case. So Andy, welcome Andy, says, had some frame rate issues earlier. I think it's all the 3D trees. Yeah, the frames seem to be okay. Not complaining too much in that regard. Right. Come on, guys. Come on. Behave. Right, let's see if we can get further than the first few corners. Well, it's up and open. No, it's doing it again. So Mick says, did you delete the documents folder? I didn't, but I can do. I can do. It feels almost like an EMI thing, but I've not had any problems with it. In the same situation, nothing's changed, so maybe we'll do that, Mick. I'll just do a documents delete and then restart it, and then we'll... Sorry about this, guys. I honestly thought this was all working perfectly fine, and then, yeah, it's just decided to have a moment. So let me just delete that. And then... fire it up again. If there's any... Just going to load that on here. See if there's any... There's no notes on here to say there's been any kind of errors on the wheel, so it seems to be maybe software side, maybe, but bizarre, utterly bizarre. That's overlay is not actually showing properly. So, did you have custom boot files from mods installed? I did originally, but obviously they change when the update happens. You know, they don't actually work anyway. Maybe a bug in the Suitshleife layout, possibly. Okay. Let me just turn that off a second again, and I'll just make sure the overlays off on into here. Okay. Well, let's just drive it. Of course. Right. Let's see. That's me. That's not the controls. Right. That seems happier. Problem is now I can't see what you guys are saying, so I have to figure out a way of viewing it. Concentrating. Right. Well, the feedback seems to be working, so that's a positive. Alright, let's just do some quick adjustments here just to make sure that things are working. Let's go back here a second. Ah, man. Right. Okay, well, I think we might be getting somewhere in terms of being able to actually drive this thing now. But first of all, I'm going to make some other adjustments here. So we need headlights on. Of course, that's not going to work, is it? Because for whatever reason, it's not recognizing my my button plate. Right, it's showing up in Windows, so that's fine. Load back in again one more time, and if not, we'll just stick with an H-pattern gearbox and go for it. Which we're going to be doing most of the time this evening anyway, because of the older cars, which lend themselves so well to the old historic Nurburgring. You wonder why the yes, I am going to change it to borderless, I think, just to... Again, of course, need to restart. Oh, AMS2 is getting a lot of practice in starting and stopping. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying, and just yeah, take comfort in knowing that everyone goes through problems. If you're experiencing problems with hardware or software things, we all have it. It happens. It's one of those things. Oh, hang on. I actually have... Oh, amazing. Look at that. I actually have the overlay on now. That's working. So now, all we need to have happen is for me to come into here and go, I want my gear up to be that one. Yes! Right. We're getting somewhere. Okay, headlights. Pit limiter there. Let's have a look back on that one there. Right, okay, we're good. Let's go back to the race menu, go here. Although we want to turn off automatic coming out of the pit lane because we don't need that. So gearing manual set. It's a problem when you do these changes, you got to make sure everything is back to how you like it. So my engine start, yes, that's fine. Manual pit stops, yes. Manual cool down on. Manual rolling start, yes. Right, okay, fine. Good. Let's load in and go from there. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. If you're still here after watching all of my dramas, thank you. I appreciate it. Now let's go give this a try, because we haven't even driven one lap of the Suitshleife yet. Okay. Now the stream status is Baraka, yes. Just don't rush anything. So I have automatic gearbox on, which I think I should be able to remove from here. Auto clutch. Why is it shifting gears for me? Anyway, so this is turn 1 of the Suitshleife. We've seen it a couple of times. This time we've... What? Why is it now doing it again? Okay. I'm gonna try and persist with the old... What? What on earth is going on? I'm like losing... It's turning buttons on randomly. See if it sticks with me this time. I've noticed that the power thing on my little USB hub down here has been flickering, so I don't know whether it's just a power issue perhaps, but I've turned that particular port off. So let's see if that helps. Hey Eddie, welcome along. And anyone else who I've potentially missed since trying to sort all this out. Okay. Bear with me one moment. I got an idea. I have an idea. Problem is I now have to extract myself out of my rig, so please bear with me, guys. Okay, right. Let's just line things up here a little bit. So the thought I had, the only thing that's changed since I've done anything here is having an extra, like an iPad charging cable in the back of the PC. So I've just removed that, because sometimes if there's something close to the steering wheel, it can cause some EMI issues. So I've removed that. So let's see if it works again now. Where am I? Turn that back on again, perhaps? Maybe? Right. My gloves back. Ah, amazing. Okay. So AI have come for Phil Simrig. Yeah, I think so. Definitely someone's got it in for me this evening. Here we go. Let's see. So Sonic says take your wheel off and put it back on again. No, it's still doing it. Okay. I'm just going to have to just preempt when it's going to do it and then try and survive. Anyway, so this section here... you just can't. You can't survive. If it stops turning and then it instantly goes left, you just can't survive. So just turn all feedback off and hope for the best. RJ says Logitech DFG backup on Windows XP anyway. I have still got my G27, which might have to come out. Anyway, So, this is the Suitshleife, and for the rest of the evening, potentially, without force feedback, can we survive? No. No, we cannot. That's just me down to not knowing where I'm going, really, to be honest. Okay. Makes for a very interesting driving experience without... without force feedback. Okay, let's keep going. I will make a lap, I promise you this. It won't be the fastest or cleanest lap you've ever seen in your life, but I will do a lap. So this is where we come back onto that little loop section. So we've gone through the extremities of the Sudschleife. We've seen quite a lot more of the scenery than I was expecting to see. But now we're back onto the loop section, which kind of runs parallel with each other, but with a little bit of a, almost like a roundabout at the end here. So this really steep banked curve. And then that there would be if we went onto the Nordshleife. But instead, we cut around here on this concrete banking section. Still doesn't make a lap. Right. Well, there's something clearly not quite right here. Let's try another layout. Yeah, you're right, Marty. I'll try another layout, just in case it's that one. Let's... Turn off. And... again. What fun and games. Yeah, so I've been running things. I've been running, I said, of course, competition only just recently. Nothing's changed on the system that I've been using. Had no EMI issues whatsoever. So I suspect it could be update related, which is a very odd thing to happen. Why it would do something like that. But yeah, let's try another layout, just in case. And then if that's still doing it, I'll try another sim. And if it's still doing it there, we know it's my wheel that's the issue, and we'll just go with the keyboard. Well, you get to share in my pain this evening. Let's go on here. Let's go to the regular Nordshleife. In fact, should we go test it with something that isn't new? Well, let's try it one of the original Nurburgring layouts here and just see. I'm loving your suggestions, guys. Thank you for trying to help me and sort this all out. Okay, so my wheel paddle box thing is working correctly. Let's see if we have any dropouts whatsoever around here. It seems to happen when there's some kind of steering load going through. That was me. It wasn't the wheel as such. That was the wheel though. Yeah, it's definitely having problems there. So okay, let's do the mods thing then. Let's do that. Let's exit. This is why I didn't really bother putting mods on the system beforehand, because I wasn't sure how well it would sit. So let's just do that quickly. Although to be fair, let me just see. I don't think I've even got JSGME installed on my new PC, so it's just we'll go back onto this screen so you don't have to see just a black screen in front of you. So let's just oh, I've got this installed on here. We'll just go in and just remove the mods folder altogether, I think. Oh no, there it is. Let's just load that. Okay, so disable all mods. Going through its thing now. Okay, that's all that done. It's closed. Okay, right. So let's try that again. Fingers crossed, guys. And I will try verifying my installation if this doesn't work, just to make sure. So Theodore says, yes, you need to make sure you uninstall your mods or all boot files since they're no longer supported. Try Monza in the P1 Honda, says the Phil H. If that does not work, it has to be a setup. It's driven 2 laps. So Andrew, you're having no problems. You're getting some laps in, which, you know, I had issues earlier, which I fixed, and that was fine. Okay. Hang on a second. Gone. So now I need to verify. Okay, right, cool. We'll do that. Right, properties, local files, verify integrity of game files. Right. So that's now thinking its way through there. So let's hope it works. Evening, Kevin. You haven't missed much, to be honest. You've seen a snippet of the Nordshleife. You've seen, as Barack says, you've just seen pure pain. Yeah, there's been a lot of technical issues, lots of force feedback dropouts, reconfiguration of controllers, pretty much everything you can think of, to be honest, just to try and get things to work. And so far with little success. However, I feel that we may be getting somewhere now, thanks to the suggestions of you guys. You've been helping me out massively, so big thank you to you. And yeah, so we'll see if this is going to hopefully do it. So yeah, so it was verified obviously when I downloaded it and things, but I wonder whether the mod side of things has just interfered slightly. So those are now all removed. So that shouldn't be an issue. It's verifying the integrity now, because when I went back in again, there was no historic Nurburgring on there at all. So just a quick re-verifying going on. Kevin says, oh dear, I just jumped into my rig too and selected the release candidate. You'll probably be fine. I think it could well just be isolated to my experience this evening. He's shown us some great crashes. Most of them completely out of my control, but then most crashes are out of people's control. But yeah, there's some big offs. But that's what we're doing, Marty. You're absolutely correct. We are verifying the structural integrity of the fences. Just got to make sure that they're going to keep the spectators safe, because the last thing you want is a field full of classic GT cars flying off through a wooden and wire fence, because it's just not safe. So we've got to test these things out and make sure everyone's safe. And yeah, I can confirm that they are very solid. I did joke with Todd Norbury on Twitter this week, who's one of the track team. I said, well, I'm sure there'll be at some point some checking of the strength of those fences, and yeah, it happened much earlier than I was expecting it to. So it's all good. You got to smile, you got to laugh, because it's just one of those things. It's not much we can do other than that. We'll just keep ourselves going. But yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we can get you some action this evening on track, rather than just me sitting here waiting for files to verify. So Kevin says, while you're waiting, have you tried ACC 1.9 yet? I have. I've been doing a bit of that this week, actually. Been running quite a bit. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm quite impressed with it. It's quite nice, actually. I wasn't quite sure of the feedback through the wheel initially, but I've got used to it a bit more now. So yeah, it does feel pretty good. It's just different to what I'm used to, really. And I've been fine-tuning settings and just trying to make sure it all works properly on my new PC, which is more than capable of handling it, which is very nice to see. No longer have that worry of jumping into a sim and just being like, oh, I've got to put up with stutters here, or having things turned down and making it look rubbish or whatever. I can just turn things up and just be able to drive, which is really nice. So at 96% verified files, so shouldn't be too many moments before we can get back out on track again. So 2 files failed to validate and will be reacquired. Okay, good news. It's now doing that now. Okay, let's load in and see what happens. So Raja says, you're learning the pit lane in a turn 1 very well. I am. I'm becoming familiar with that bit. The thing with learning new tracks in any sim is you got to take it slice by slice. And so far we've taken every slice out of turn 1 and the following barriers as we can possibly get. So we're getting there. And soon enough we'll build up an understanding of where the rest of the track goes. We will get there. Right. Let's see. Have we got it? We have. Excellent. Right. Sudschleife. Load. Go. Let's see. So Kevin says, I saw some Ferrari Challenge at Valencia, so I tried it in ACC and it was great. Valencia's a good circuit. I really do like Valencia, actually. I really loved that circuit in Race 07 when it was on there. Loved driving that circuit. It's good to see it in ACC as well. Even Gaz, you haven't missed much other than a lot of pain, as I'm sure a lot of people will vouch for in the comments. The suspense is palpable. But let's see if we have finally managed to sort out our issues. I'm not going to get too excited too soon, because it's still happening. It's definitely hardware related, it's got to be. Okay, well, let's just take it nice and easy and I'll show you the circuits. What can you do with that? Just right. Abandon the wheel. Because it's clearly not going to work. So, out comes the keyboard. Controls. Right, edit assignment, steer left. Can I use the mouse? No, I can't. I shall use that to go left. I shall use that to go right. I can continue using my throttle and brake on here. This could be interesting, trying to balance the keyboard and use my pedals. Gear up can be... Oh no, I can use... That's fine, it's fine. I can use the H pattern. It's all good. Right. So, resist the temptation to touch the steering wheel because it's not going to work. I'll turn that off. Actually, I'll leave it. That worked. Steer left. That. Steer right. That. Hang on, let's come back out of this a sec. Go back to the main menu. It's got to be hardware related. It's got to be. I'll figure it out eventually. But I just want to get something going here so you guys can actually see this rather than just... a whole load of pain. So, do that, keyboard and mouse. Oh, still left mouse. Ah, there we go. I can use And use the mouse axis. That's good. Okay. Throttle. That one. Brake. That one. It's gonna be that one, of course. That means I can put that away. And then gear 1. Reverse gear. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Okay. This is going to be an incredibly weird experience. But we will carry on regardless, because that's what we do. And I'll get to the bottom of my wheel issues some other time. It'll just have to be dealt with at a later date. So, you know, it could have been any circuit. It could have been oval racing, and I would have been fine. But the fact that we're on the Nordshleife, and I've got to try and get used to driving with the mouse. Okay. Ooh, it's sensitive. Okay, it's still shifting gears for me. Why is it shifting gears? I want manual gears. Steering automatic. No, I want it in manual. Edit assignments. Can I change the steering sensitivity? Okay, let's... Steering dead zone. I don't want a dead zone. Let's go 400 on there. Okay. This is... Ooh. Okay. When you take away one of your inputs, everything seems much more difficult. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit easier to use. It's still weird though. No, I can't use the mouse. I can't. I'm gonna have to use the keyboard. I'm gonna have to. Right. Mouse is not gonna be the steering. Keyboard will be. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. It's gone back to automatic gearbox again. Just because I changed that doesn't mean I want to have auto gears. Stop it. Leave me alone. Suffered enough. Right, here we go. What's going on? Why is it now not giving me my H pattern? Reverse gear, that. Yeah, that. Fifth gear, sixth gear, okay. Easy. Easy as that. Okay, so all it should need is that. Why is it not giving me a... Why are you not allowing me to use my gearbox? I do not understand. Okay, well, gearbox. Do the gearbox up, down. Okay. See if that helps. Right. Oh my goodness. Should we just go play BeamMG, everybody? We're good at crashing. can't take it as quick as I would normally do. That's all I need to do, is to slow it down. Okay. We're good. More confused. Alright. What this does mean is I'm having to concentrate even more than normal, so therefore I'm going to try and physically remember to actually look at chat and make sure I know what you guys are saying. This section's quite nice. It's got the bushes on the side of the road, which looks quite nice. There's a very tight corner here. Let's start. The great thing is, of course, is that my A-stick pedals are still working beautifully. It's just my brain that isn't working quite so well. It's alright guys, I've already got my G27. I'll have to re-hook it up somehow. Okay, so the promise that I made earlier on, that I was going to do a lap of the Suitshleife. Okay, we're getting close guys, we really are. We're not far away now. That's the banked right left hand there. And then cut off to the right hand side here. Rail driving again. Tell you what, there's plenty of opportunities for me to use this button tonight. There you go, another one for you. Okay, here we go. We're going to cross the line, everybody, and we're going to have made a lap of this Suitshleife. Just for perspective, this is the shortest version. There we go. That's drifting with a keyboard. Beautiful. I think we're getting somewhere here. Yeah, those times when you should just not say anything. Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, it wouldn't always go completely to plan. So the really big issue we have here is, obviously I'm not using my wheel, but you know, using the keyboard, is that I have a mixture of inputs going on here. So normally with the wheel, obviously, you can be really smooth with steering, you can be smooth with your throttle and your brake, etc. When you're using a keyboard to steer, but still using pedals for everything else, the problem you have is that you have very finite inputs going on the steering. So I'm hitting the keys, and that's it. There's no being smooth with it, there's no finesse, you're just simply hitting the keys hard. And the tendency then is to do the same thing with your feet. So I'm trying to split inputs from being smooth in one part of my body and then not so smooth in the other. So it's a real challenge. Definitely worth trying if you're bored one day. If you have wheels that work correctly, I would recommend staying with that because it is considerably easier. However, you know, you like a good challenge here at SRB, so let's go for it. It makes reading the chat much harder because you pay more attention. So Frank says, so green and lush. It is. It's looking very nice, actually. We've not spoken too much about how the circuit looks. We've got some lovely details with the road surface there. You can see some changes of road surface. You have some leaves on the side of the road there as well. It'll be interesting to see what it's like in different times of the year as well. That'll be something worth exploring. So even though we've got bushes lining either side of the road here, those bushes are also rather solid, so don't feel you can just plough straight through them. Oops, overcompensated for the oversteer. Whoop. this particularly powerful BMW 2002. Don't try anything else. I was going to do some form of vintage this evening because, you know, that kind of really lends itself to this particular release. I don't think I dare. You know, if I can't even control the low-power BMW, I've got no chance with anything else, have I? Right. We're almost up to completing 2 laps here. Anyway. So the Suitshleife was a little extra which the Riser guys had worked on to bring a little bit of extra content to the pack, and it's because they were able to find some more references to help them with their track building, which that's a rapid re-entry of the pit lane, rapid unexpected re-entry of pit lane, as SpaceX would say. Right. Not the way we want to go. We want to go this way. Okay, let's just admire some details here. So we've got some nice bricks down the side of the road there, which is kind of very familiar with something like Indianapolis, for example. But you know, you've got the pit buildings here. So we have a race control building there with all vintage signage on it and things, with the clock on the wall there as well, which is pretty cool. And then let's go this way. So there's another timing tower up there with another clock. So you have 2 options to view what time it is as you go past the pit lane here. Got a building on the left hand side, which is obviously owned by Bosch. Quite sure what Zundkerzen means, but the little details are nice, aren't they? I mean, overlooking the fact that I'm, you know, not driving this correctly because I'm not using the wheel which I had installed. But you can still appreciate the detail that Rise have gone into. So there's our sign there, letting you know which direction to go if you want to do certain ones, certain layouts. But this section here is very easy to catch air. So if you go over there, 2 inside wheels just pop up, and it makes things rather exciting. I was driving around in the the RSR earlier on, and it was taking off completely, not just 2 wheels off the ground, it was all 4 wheels off the ground. So yeah, exciting part of the track, that one, for some higher powered cars. We almost embedded ourselves in the wall that time. Kevin's come back and said Zundkerzen and his spark plugs apparently. Excellent. There we go, that's the information we needed. So yeah, it makes sense because Bosch make spark plugs on electrical items, so yeah, that all makes complete sense. I love the trees. Have we got 3D trees here? I know they've added 3D trees in to Bathurst, the classic one. We've got 3D trees now, I would possibly. Maybe not all of them, because there's probably an awful lot more trees on here than there are around Bathurst, so no 3D trees here, Kevin. Okay, right, thanks for letting me know. I think that probably would kill it for a lot of people. For Sonic, at least your driving is down to my standards. I thought you were going to say at least you're driving it up to a regular standard, which is probably also true too. Down to this section here, which is a little bit of a village. You can just see on the left hand side there. A few buildings in there, which is pretty cool. Go the hill once more. So it's quite a sweeping, flowing layout, the Suitshleife, actually. There's a couple of tighter corners involved, but not too many. It's quite flowing and, I guess, very similar to the Nordshleife in a way, which you kind of expect is in the same part of the world. Yeah, it's a nice flowing layout, and I'm sure if you had an actual working steering wheel, you'd probably have an awful lot of fun sliding some of these classic cars through these corners. That's a particularly tight section through there. Slightly less of a destructive lap, that one. I can do this bit. But yeah, again, the guys at Ryza do a fabulous job with their historic content, and already, even though this is just the first of the three we're going to be testing this evening, it's up to those standards we're so used to with Ryza's historic content. So looking very good already. I love that you got some external details of outside of the track. I'm just going to have a quick peek down this way just out of... Can we actually get... How far can we get down here? We're going the wrong way around the Nordshleife at this point, I think. So even if you load into the Suitshleife, you can still access the Nordshleife, albeit in this direction, in the wrong way. I wonder if you can actually go all the way around. Well, we'll do it the proper way around and go from there. But the Sudschleife is really nice. I think, yeah, RJ, you're right. It says it's almost a practice for the full thing, and it kind of gently introduces. Yeah, I couldn't really explain that any better. It is. It's like a precursor to the Nordshleife, so you can kind of get your bearings and get used to that kind of track, and then unleash yourself on the full thing. So here we go. Let's we'll move on to the historic 1971 Nordshleife here, which is just the Nordshleife itself. Then we'll do the Gesamtstrecke as well, which has both. I think for stability concerns, we should probably stick with the BM, but I want to try something else as well. So maybe we... I'll just take forever. I think we're in the Mini. Okay, well, I am actually, because I'm insane, I'm going to try this. No, we'll do the RSR. It belongs here a bit more than the Corvette does. Okay, so be interesting to see what the difference is going to be like here with the Nordshleife compared to the modern version. Obviously, we start off on that same little pit section as we did with the Suitshleife, but then once we get onto the actual Nordshleife itself, where are going to be the differences? That's what I'm interested to see and find out here. So, see how much we can recognise as we drive around. Yeah, so presenting, yeah, absolutely right. Fantastic job on the track, as always. They do a great job. The Kidex says, by the way, the track on the springtime, Nords mostly, features a construction site. Look, that was in 71 after track reconstruction. Oh, cool. A little hidden detail in there, which is very cool indeed. Right, is this... So the edge path is working now. I can't use the clutch because otherwise I'll just knock my wheel off. Well, that is my wheel. It's just my keyboard wheel. Okay, so here we normally go off left. Now we just turn around on the right. Actually keep my hand on the gear stick here as well, so I can do the steering with one hand. The Kidex says, I wish we had time to release it in full glory, not adding more and more details after the initial release. All blames on me. Oh no, don't worry. It's all good. I mean, the guys have been so excited to try this out. But the fact that you've released it to us to do so is brilliant. So here we go. Onto the Nordshleife we go. Aha. So that's recognisable. So this is, yeah, basically turn one, I suppose. You just run the Nordshleife itself. Let's see how we get on through here. It actually feels wider. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's because the barriers are, well, it looks more open actually compared to the modern version. Maybe that just gives the impression of it feeling a little bit wider. The curbs are still big, but in a different way, so they're kind of short and abrupt rather than large and tall. So you still have to watch out for the curves. There we go, we've got the run down towards Flugplatz here, and we are bush lined once again over the bridge. It's much more open, isn't it? Do the double right hand and we go. Heady heights, we're into 5th gear. Wow, look at this, it's like completely clear on the right hand side there. That's interesting. Whoa. It almost looks barren, doesn't it? It's just very different looking to it, but that's okay. Underneath the bridge, this is all rather familiar at this point. Down the hill we go. This is where the speed builds up. I'm just going to be a little bit careful here. Now underneath through the dip. Yes, it's got these earth banks on the outside there. Into the tight, twisty little complex of corners here. It's a nice. That's like a distance marker, I think, on the left-hand side there, with like a stone distance marker rather than just the signs as we have nowadays. Okay, down to the double left here. How is the 911 RSR easier to handle than the 2002 Turbo? That's what I want to know. We're good. What I am going to get is cramp in my right hand. I can already feel it coming on. Look at the view across there, by the way. Oh wow, you can see the track in the distance down there. That's awesome. Over the bridge with the checkered flag design on the wall. Very cool. And you can see the track just kind of flowing out in front of you there. A big wall of trees on the hillside over there. Oh wow. It's a big drop off down there from the top of that bridge. Theodore says I have to physically stop and check that view out. Yeah. No, it's quite impressive, isn't it, off the top of the hill there? Okay. This is where speed starts to build all the way through here. Lines are not brilliant, partly because I'm not confident in getting myself out to the right hand side of the circuit there. There we go, some fencing on the left hand side there for people to watch. It's actually got quite good views for the spectators, I will be honest. Maybe even slightly better than it is nowadays. You can see a good portion of the circuit. Start to slow things down here as we... Where does this go? How far can we go? Little detour here. Where does this lead to? It's not stopped me yet. Anything on the right hand side there? Is this... No way. There's a shortcut. We just completely missed. Okay, hang on. Let's go back down there, because I don't want to miss out any key things. So, should you wish to, you can completely cut the circuit there. It will invalidate your lap time. But it's available for you if you want to. That's cool. That could easily have been blocked off with like a fence or an Armco barrier or something, but props to leaving that in. Gives us something to explore. Right, back to where we should have been. We got tannoy speakers down the right hand side there, and again, really clear viewing point for the spectators on the inside there, into the carousel then. Still just as steep and concretey as it is today. Glow on the track textures there with the sunlight coming into there. So, is that where we popped out? No, don't think it is it? Or is it? No, that's where we came out. So just cut off a fair amount of the circle, that little shortcut there. This is all very familiar through here, the layout is very similar. Still those big curves in there as well. Love the corner name boards as well, which not that you have too much time to read them, especially when you're trying to concentrate with driving with a keyboard. But it's cool that they're there, so if you had the awareness to be able to read those boards as you're going through, you knew exactly where you were. Let's see. Some air over this little lump here. Just trying to lift off a little bit there, but didn't have the bravery to commit to that. Again, a little jump off the top. Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. I have my wheel working. And through the flick. Nice. I think you can see more of the circuit periphery on this older version. That is the first off we've had with the RSR. I mean, that's quite impressive, considering what a fearsome brute this thing is. So the mini carousel. Mixture of got some brick on the inside and then the concrete on the banking as well there, so two different surfaces in one there. Okay, into the final corner here before we get onto the big straight. Which is bush lined all the way down. You see it stretching out in front of you for miles. So RJ says, I think he'll enter some DOS racing championships on MK now. It's taking me back to my roots of driving on the keyboard. Integrated Vodovus says Theo, yeah, it will be available afterwards. So as a reminder to make sure that your wheel isn't having EMI issues. Right, under the bridge. Here, we've got like the public road to the left hand side there as well, which is pretty cool. This is where we started exploring in the wrong direction. The end of our Suitshleife exploration. Corner always catches me out. Even more so when I have more things to think about. So Pizarro says the real question is, when will we get animated cows? Yes, we need the cows from Spa to come on a holiday to Germany, don't we, so that we can have them on the circuit there as well. I'm sure Kit will include some as and when that's a viable option. There we go, so that's over the line, and then back into the sweep back around, cutting off the Sudschleife layout. And then back onto the main part of the circuit again. We made it. Yeah, we did. In relatively one piece. I mean, with the first 45 minutes edited out. Yes. Yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe I will do that. Now let's see what we can do. Now that we're getting more and more familiar with the keyboard steering. That was a flat shift, unintentional. Just forgot to lift. Luckily the game handled that for me. It's the wall. But what I will do is I will revisit this. I will investigate my issues, sort them, and then we will revisit it with the actual wheel so I can feel what it's actually like to drive properly around here, and I'll try and make something out of that. Because it's only fair that I owe it to you guys who have tuned in this evening to see some sim racing action instead of seeing some keyboard steering mixed with sim racing action. So I will get it sorted, guys, and we'll do a proper go of it. Lift off over the top of the hill there. Stop. Oh, we did. I honestly thought we were going to go explore that catch fencing then, but thankfully we didn't. It's still been entertaining in a different way. Yeah, I'm glad it's been entertaining. I'm glad you enjoyed my pain. Now, Phil, don't get too confident. You're still only driving with a keyboard. Just because you think you can actually get away with it. Right, let's try again. Let's have a look at here. I mentioned this earlier. Let's take a quick look at this. It's got 100 on there, so I'm not sure where that 100 relates to. Almost looks like it's got a power junction box on there as well. You can just see at the bottom of that. Okay. It's a nice little extra detail. Besides, says the road is nice and bumpy as expected. I'm glad. That's good to hear. I would love to be able to experience that for myself, of course, but I will admit the force feedback on my keyboard is not quite as strong as it is through the DD wheel. So I'm not quite getting all the information I need to understand what the car's doing underneath me, so yeah, glad it's turning out to be a bumpy ride, which is kind of what you'd expect. It's obviously had some resurfacing work over the years, but this is obviously going to be slightly different to modern day in terms of track surface. Of some oversteer into there then, that worked quite nicely. That one didn't. Okay, there's a nice view. Wasn't expecting to show you that particular view from there, but it's nice all the same. I love how you can see the track just disappear off into the distance there, that's really cool. Stop in time either. That's so. Ausfahrt Bonn and Kolm. Okay, so that's the direction to Bonn and Köln. So if you wanted to head in that direction rather than taking the rest of the lap around the Nordshleife, if that's what you could do. One of those distance markers on the right hand side there. So Frank says, we'll just stay here and chat behind your back, Phil, while you sort things out. Okay. Sounds like a deal. So I think the difficulty here, obviously, with the size of the circuit and all the details which need to go in there, just looking at the trees and things, it's obviously very difficult to try and make sure everything looks different. But you know, you can look into the distance and not feel like you've just been in a world of copy and paste and just seeing the same thing over and over again. It's a degree of variation going on. Kit says, try to run wider through the bridge and start closing to the inside of the bridge. By the end of the bridge, you have a big left wheel hop. I would love to be able to try and experiment with that, but I think my accuracy is depleted slightly. When I've got the wheel working, I will certainly do that. Well, stay on the low side. Yeah, there we go. That was a reasonably successful carousel, actually. You're looking forward to hopefully seeing Le Mans, are you, Andrew? Yeah, no, that would be fun. That would be good. Go nicely with the Group C cars. This section is just so nice. It's just one corner after another, and then all flows together really nicely, as you do in the modern version of the Nordshleife, of course. The grass is good. Keep it on the track, which is always a win when you have very little control over the situation. Yes. No. Barrier. So my tyres are in nice operating window in terms of temperature. Brakes, not so much. Okay, that's not too bad through there. Scandinavian flick into the mini carousel. Somehow we got away with that. Just. But again, the texturing on the road surface, you can see lots of black lines where people have had little moments going into all the corners and things. It all looks really rather nice indeed. You can see the castle up on the hill there quite clearly on this historic version. No bridge back there, no oops. Only 5 gears for that. Try to go to 6. That's one of those moments, guys, where you're quite happy you don't have force feedback. Because I still have my wrists in one piece. That is a very solid bush. Let's take a look. Although this is a good 1 minute 55 back, but we've done a couple of laps-ish of the old Nordshleife. Yeah, so it's a bit different. It's a bit different to what we're used to, obviously, with the slightly more open surroundings around us, and yeah, look away now, Frankie. You don't want to be seeing that. But yeah, it's nice. It looks good. It's got a very different feel to it, but it's got that historic side of things, which we love, and one of the things that Ryder do really well is the historic content, whether it be cars or whether it be tracks as well. Lean to there, spitting flames. But yeah, I mean, even though we're not driving as I would like to drive this evening, we're still able to have a good impression of the circuit itself. I'd love to be able to do this justice by actually holding some proper slides with the wheel and things. But so far, the circuit looks really, really good. As Kit's saying, there's probably going to be some more details added in due course. There we go, coming up towards the killer bush, as Baraka says. There we go, somewhere along here, and over the bridge. Because after I tried to shift a sec. That's a very sudden stop. A very sudden stop. Kevin says, have you tried changing your wheel profile to custom? I haven't. I mean, obviously, I've messed around with force feedback in the past, but from what it feels like, it was similar to what I was experiencing initially with when I first had the wheel, where it was having some EMI issues. So basically, where it just disconnects momentarily and then reconnects itself, and then at the same time, once you've been disconnected, your steering's turned, and then you just keep going that direction. It's, yeah, I think it's possibly EMI related, so I'll figure it out and try and eliminate that. But okay, let's go back, and this time we will do the Gesamtstrecke. So this is both the Suitshleife and the Nordshleife all together in one big round. So let's scroll down and find that one. Here it is, the Gesamtstrecke Historic, 1971. So this one is the 22 for the Nordshleife and 28 kilometers for the full hit. So should we take out on this one? Well, for your viewing pleasure and for your viewing entertainment, I think I owe it to you, to be honest, to do this. Try springtime for the construction site look. Okay, we'll do that. Custom date. Let's go springtime. Oops. That's right. 5th of April sufficient, do you think? Yeah, should be. Save that. So Frank says, I've had 0 issues with the update so far, least of which in the controller development. Yeah, well that's good. Well, I'm glad you've had no issues at all. I did have the replay bug earlier on, which can completely crash things. I had to restart, but other than that, I've had no dramas, so it's all good. Right. Tell you what I am going to do, actually. To save cramping in my wrist, I'm going to actually change my control here. So I'm going to... Okay. Steer left is going to be... Can I be left click? No, I can't. That's fine. Not to worry. I'll stick with the keyboard. I was hoping to try and do it on the on the buttons on the mouse, but no, it's fine. Hello. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if this will work. Steer left. Steer right. Okay, so we're still going to have my hands on the wheel here. I'm just not going to be turning it. Beautiful. Right, here we go then. This is fun. Stop it! Ah. Okay, so maybe not those. I'm going to use... What shall I use? Use that. And that. Okay, try that. Oh, that's even more twitchy than the no. Just stick with the keyboard. if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. Try it again. Stay left. Stay right. Okay. We know what we're doing here. So, Suitshleife version now. So, well, Gesamtstrecke, and then we'll get there eventually. So here we go. Of course, because now we've changed things, it's decided to keep reaching for my keyboard because I'm used to being down there. It's not my lap, Phil. Right. Control scheme. Gears. Manual, please. Thank you. Now we have a lot more speed involved. You won't see a lap time akin to that of someone like Jackie Stewart or anyone like that, but... Ooh, hello. That was nice through there. Okay. Now to remember where the Suitshleife goes. Ooh. It's very twitchy. Splinters off the wooden fence. We're all good. Let's do this properly. Let's see if we can do this and balance the keyboard. Stick it in third. Perhaps with a tight right-hander. Gotta get on the brakes earlier than that. Goodness me. Come on, Phil. Right. Just like that, we're through the Suitshleife. It's not too bad. Oh, it's May better as a kid. Okay, I'll do that next. Again, that's just completely broken my brain. Right, okay, we'll just stick with two pedals. Okay, well, let's just reload this in onto May, and see if we can see this construction site, because that'd be cool to see. RJ says you'll appreciate this so much more when you get it working. Yeah. Okay.
Thought it was Jim Clark driving.
Oh, thanks, Pasonic. Appreciate that. Well, that's probably the biggest compliment I've ever received. But yeah, I don't think I quite have the ability of Jim Clark, I will be honest. Even if I did have my wheel working, I still wouldn't have that same level of ability. But appreciate it. Thanks for the 5, Pasonic. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. the kit says, no, April's fine too. Oh, okay, I was just afraid of the beginning of April will trigger late winter look still. Ah, right. That's fine. We'll get through it. So Theodore says, not really happy that you're better on an MK with this keyboard, this combo than I am with a fully functional wheel. No, it's all good. To be honest, because I got it on the keyboard settings, I think I got a bit of assistance in terms of steering, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. We've got some snow on the ground here. Oh, that looks nice, look at that. It's going to have a whole new different dynamic look to it. Ooh, we have a problem. I've embedded myself in the fence. Luckily it ends here. So hopefully we can get ourselves out of it. There we go, perfect. Okay, sometimes you just have to ride it and just go with it. We got there eventually, so. We're doing some beta testing for you. We're just trying to find some bugs and things. Inadvertently, not obviously looking for them. I think it must be slippy in winter time. Just, you know, investigating the different texture work on the trees. You know, making sure the sky is still blue, that kind of stuff. You know, really crucial and important things to be checking out on a new release such as this. Right, here we go. I got stone cold tyres, stone cold brakes, and I'm expecting to go at rapid speeds. I don't know what's wrong with me. My brain needs recalibrating. Use the curb, pull me around there. It's a pro tip there. If you want some extra rotation on the corners, just hook that tyre over the curb on the inside and it'll do all that work for you. It saves having to use your full stop key to turn right. Yeah, I love the texturing on the road detail there where it has those almost like potholes in a way actually. The bushes are no longer fully green, they're a little bit on the brown side as well, so there's some change there. Right, this is where we need to get on the brakes super early. We made it through. So funky says, hope those fingers are fitted with hands devices, Phil. Gotta deal with all that whiplash. Down to the bank left-hander. I love the little pockets of snow on the side of the road there. Almost need to put a camera on, don't I, so you can see the finger work on the keyboard here. Although I can give you much tips on how to drive, of course. It wasn't the intention of spinning around that direction. I was going to spin it the other way. That's the way we went. So Roger says, must take so much more effort to do this seasonal stuff. Yeah, I mean, to actually get it all in the right way of, you know, how it's supposed to look at that time of year for that part of the world as well. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. Oh man. The Theodore early on said, definitely need to get Phil on as a beta tester. No spot untested. can't say that we're not thorough in our work here at Sim Racing Bible. We're very thorough, doing every potential eventuality, and every bit of arm cone, every blade of grass, all needs to be checked and tested properly. Right, just go for the brakes here. So there's some snow on the hills in the distance. You can just see there as well, which is pretty cool. Similar to what you see when you're at Monza in the winter time with the snow on the hills there as well. Oh, look at that across there, that looks really cool. The distance, just yeah. Very easy to distract yourself with the view around here. Fingertips on Android, very good RJ. Very sparse with the trees so bare. So, I don't know if I'm right in thinking, but the Sudschleife may not be as used as the main Nordshleife, so it's that comment that Frank made there about the nice detail of the Suitshleife, with the leaves and the track textures and things. I wonder whether it's slightly less used, hence why it's in a slightly different condition, because around here on the Nurburgring, on the Nordshleife side of things, you don't see the same kind of leaf situation on the side of the road. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I wonder whether it's just a lesser used section of track, hence why it looks a little bit more like it does, which is cool. Kind of gives you a different version of like a variation on the theme, which is really cool. Oh, goodness me. Change hands for a second. No problem, RJ. Thanks for joining us. Sorry it wasn't much of a stream this evening, but I hope you had fun nonetheless. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Besides says, I think I feel a very long VR stint on this track coming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it could be good fun. Very immersive in VR, I'm sure. Andy Lee, welcome Andy, says, I had forgotten about seasonal adjustments in the game. I think I had it on default thing. Yes. Yeah, they're very good. I love the sun rays coming through the trees there. That's so neat. But yeah, the seasonal adjustments per track. I mean, some of them can look quite, quite barren when it's in the winter months. But that's how it is in real life. So it's really cool to have the seasonality evolved. So, having swapped hands to give my right wrist a bit of a cramp break, I now present myself with another brain-melting moment, which is trying to find the right gear with my right hand. It's not easy. You may notice there's a slight gap between gear changes, and that's because I'm just like, okay, I need to push it over that way, and then pull back, and it's not easy. Because I'm all back to front with my steering being on the right hand side. Oh man. Well, it's not doing too bad, I will be honest. This is I was gonna say, it's working out much better than I was expecting it to. But again, one of those moments where I should just keep my mouth closed for a little while longer, but in that case I think it was just keeping my mind closed for a bit longer. Alright, there we go. Hey Josh B, welcome along. It says, how is he steering? Yes. Well, we had some issues earlier on with my wheel, so I've resorted to steering with the keyboard, and currently I'm steering with my left hand and changing gear with my right hand because my right hand has got a cramp from steering on the keyboard. So yes, it's a bit of an interesting situation. But we're adaptable here at SRB. So when things go wrong, we've got to find the best possible solution. And currently, this is it. So, I certainly wouldn't recommend driving the Nordshleife like this in real life. I think it could be incredibly dangerous. More so than it is, actually. Another one of those moments where I'm using the wrong hand, pushing the wrong button. Right, here we go. Oh no, brakes needed. Looks like you're playing the drums. Yeah, I may as well be. Not doing much driving. No. So if you are new here and you are joining us at Simracing Bible for the first time ever, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this is not normal. I will be honest. This is not what you'd normally expect to see out of one of our streams. I would normally be using this thing because this is what we're all here for. But yeah, some little gremlins to iron out. Well, we've missed the deadly bush, which was further back there. We didn't hit that this time. Will we take off over the top of the hill? Yes. Did I keep my foot in? Yes. We found a new deadly bush. I love the trees there. They look very cool with the leaves missing. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't see anything of the construction site thing, so I don't know whether I'm not quite going to get the date right on that. I don't know whether I need to adjust it in any way, but I'm pretty sure with everything working functionally, driving the Formula Vintage around here would be really, really fun. I mean, it's obviously that kind of era. And this is 70, so obviously these cars are in a bit earlier than this, but look at the takeoff over there. So there would be the slightly later Formula 1 cars which would be running around here at this point. But either way, the track layout will be fairly similar for the 60s version as well, so it is kind of relevant in a way. So Kit says, yes, some hiccup with the date. The initial April date was the one. Oh, right, okay. Well, let's rectify that, because I want to see that, because I think it's worth seeing. So let's get this right. More with barren yellow ground around the track. Okay, so if we go to the date then. Oh, I went the wrong way, didn't I? I went March rather than May. So if we said May 5th, then Kit, would that be good? I'll hold on until you confirm that, and then we can go check it out. But it's cool to see the winter side of things as well. Definitely worth seeing that. May's good. Right, cool. Let's go for it. Change the car up here as well. So let's go 70s-esque. I'll take the 72. And drive this beautiful machine. Try and get the lactic acid out of my wrist so that I can at least drive with the hands in the right position on the keyboard, so I'm not backwards. Ah, man. Pretty sure, Emerson Fittipaldi or anyone driving the Lotus 72 wouldn't have had this problem. We're good though. Right. So let's go have a tour around. Have the leaves back on the trees again. Well, the Formula Retro doesn't afford you very much steering lock, so... Let's see if we can survive with this thing. That was me looking around rather than actually where I'm supposed to be going. I was noticing little details off in the crowds and things. Suitshleife is still way in the 60s, yeah. So it does look quite different to the Nordshleife. The Nords is just after they increased the runoffs around the track, so it was yellow and barren, and it's all green. Okay. Yeah, you can tell that it looks like there's been some clearing. It's almost as if they've done some forestry work or something just to kind of clear things out a little bit. So yeah, you can definitely tell that, which is testament to the work that's been done on the track. Gives you that impression. Get off the grass. Oh, of course, we have we have the rear, of course, of the car being wider than the front, so I need to allow some extra space around me. But leaving barren ground for entire area is something I didn't want to do. So limited only for spring season. Right, okay. So if we go into like the summertime or something, does that mean we have it's a bit more green around the side of the circuit? Brakes, well. Thank you, Slicks. Save me. Okay, right. Breathe again. I do love that kind of double bridge there. That's really cool. Of course, the Nordshleife is, most people will know the size of it. There's several villages inside it, so they've still got to have the infrastructure to get to the different towns and villages inside the circuit itself, so that's why we see all these little bridges and roadways everywhere. Again, testing structural rigidity of the metal Armco barriers. So many things that catch your eye differently every time you go around. It's nice, you can get to experience a different way around the circuit every time. A whole lot of roads off the left hand side there as well, which you can just see off the corner of the screen. Oh no, no, no. Go off. So much more room. It kind of makes it a little bit easier because you can kind of see what's coming a little bit better. Whereas in the modern one, obviously it's so well built up, etc., that you don't tend to see an awful lot of what's coming until you're pretty much on top of it. So just gives you a good heads up of what's going to kill you next. love that panoramic view off the top there. It's so good. I've said it every time I've gone around, but it really is that good. Almost got the line through there, but limitations stop me. I get that turned in a bit earlier, but it still turned in much quicker than I was expecting it to. As Kit says, yeah, you don't jump that many times in modern version. Yeah, this is true. I have noticed that it's you're a little bit more prone to leaving terra firma and turning your car into an aircraft, which makes for quite an exciting drive, I'm sure. Overcompensated extra tap of the keyboard. Oh, the steering wheel. Little wheel about it. Yeah, so initial thoughts. I do like it. I think it's really, really cool. I mean, the Nordshleife is one of those iconic tracks, isn't it, where you've seen videos of it, you've heard of the folklore behind it, and the significance of the circuit in motorsport history, and you know, it's just fearsome for its sheer distance in terms of the length of the circuit, but also the challenge of the gradients and all the other things that go on to make the Nordshleife what it is in terms of a really testing driving experience. And then when you take it back to its earlier roots and just try and see how it would have been back in the day, and then have the opportunity as sim racers, which we are very lucky to be able to do, of transporting ourselves back in time to drive them as they were back in period, with period cars as well, has to be said. You know, we're a very lucky lot of sim racers, even when things such as steering wheels throw spanners in the works, you can still experience them in one way or another. But yeah, the circuit itself looks really, really good. I mean, it's got that historic feel. Oops. Maybe a little cut over the top here. Yeah, it's got a historic feel, and it has an air of, especially on the Nordshleife section of them. You know, they've just made an investment in terms of making it more drivable for racing purposes. So you actually have the runoff space and the safety barriers and things as well. So it looks as though we're in a period where they've just made a whole load of improvements to the circuit itself, and it's quite cool. Kevin says, I'm sure GP Laps is going to love the track. Yeah, I'm sure he is. He's a big fan of historic stuff, as am I as well. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to really enjoy that. Jake's going to be all over this, I'm sure. So Kit says, kudos to all the team. Blame the missed deadlines on me though. Oh, it's alright. Don't worry about it. Things happen, you know. We can't expect things to be back and core, you know. Things will be released when they're released. There's no pressure from me personally anyway to say that you need to absolutely have it out on deadline day, otherwise that's it, I'm just uninstalling the game. You know, it's not a problem. You know, as Personic says, you know, things take time. If you want quality, things take time. So I for one don't mind if there's a missed deadline, because I know that you guys are working on it, and when it does still fun about it. And when it does come out, we know it's going to be really good quality and worth the wait. And I can tell you, you know, Although I may not have done this justice this evening in what I wanted to do with covering the new release, what I can tell you is it is worth the wait in terms of its visual appeal, of its driving, and the general just feel of driving the Nordshleife in a 70s capacity. It's got all the little details there that we know and love from the Riser. It's got all the charm and the charisma of a historic circuit, which they always bring to the table. So definitely not disappointed with the release. I don't care if it was later than originally planned. It's here and it's really, really good. I'm sure there'll be more things added along as we go, which has been the case with the historic Spa Francorchamps as well, which we had not too long ago, where things changed as we went through and had some updates come out. So yeah, I think, you know, the circuit itself is really, really cool, really good to have, and again, another extra thing which doesn't happen in every other sim. So sure, there may well be the Nordshleife in other sims such as Factor 2, iRacing, etc. But what they don't have is a historic version, or the Suitshleife, or you know, any of that. So it's nice to have this as if nothing else, as like a historical reference, so that those who are unfamiliar perhaps with the historic version of the Nordshleife, who have never come across it before in their life, where they've never really looked into it or anything like that, but if they have the game and they have the Nordshleife because they know that one, the fact that they can then test out what it was like back in the 70s, you know, it's brilliant. So really, really cool. My poor beaten up load of 72 dancing over the bumps. But yeah, I really, you know, I really applaud the guys who have been working on this. It's really, really great. I'm sure it'll improve even more as we go. So yeah, apologies everybody that this wasn't quite the release that I was hoping it was going to be. However, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you've had at least some sort of a giggle at my expense, perhaps, when trying to figure this all out and get it working. So thank you guys for sticking with me and for hanging around and sharing your inputs and your thoughts and your tips to try and improve my problems. But yeah, that's I'm going to leave it there for the evening, and I will come back and revisit this once this thing is working properly, because I think it's needed. So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for your company this evening. It's been a pleasure to share the airwaves with you this evening, and and thanks for your inputs and for having a laugh with me. And yeah, it's good fun. So we'll be back, hopefully with a working wheel next time, so that we can actually do some proper driving, as is what we're here to do. But yeah, we'll we'll be back at some point in the near future. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Have a great rest of your weekend. But until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you very, very soon indeed. And it'll be goodbye for now. And yeah, see you next time.